I can't see you, no? Sige. Anyway. Alright. Let me share my screen. Okay, there I go. Can you see my screen na? Okay, sige. Alright. There you go. So actually, when Mom Dorothy asked me to be a speaker for your in-service training, and she asked me if I could talk about Google Apps for Education, I was really thinking of what I would share to you because I know that you are already familiar with. Thank you, thank you. I'm sure that you are already very familiar of what Google Apps for Education are. But as I was thinking, it came to me that the realization that I think I really need to share to you the beauty and then the power of using Google Drive. I believe that Google Drive is Google Drive is the heart of Google Apps, especially for Google Apps for Education. But many teachers have not fully maximized the use of Google Drive. So that is what I am going to share to you this morning. So it's actually one of the apps that I really use, no, since it was created by Google in 2012. And I really love it so much. So I'm going to share you the beauty of using it. Okay? So my topic for this morning is titled Overdrive, Maximizing Google Drive. Alright. So this is actually the basic interface of Google Drive. Later I will be going through the parts of the application or the tool. So for my discussion this morning, I have here the outline. First, I'm going to introduce to you what Google Drive is. Second is I'm going to state the reasons why we need to use Google Drive, not just for educational purposes, but for personal and productivity purposes also. And number three is I would like to show you how you work with the Google Drive interface. And lastly is I am going to share to you 11 hacks that we can do or that I do in Google Drive. And then the things that abi ninyo nga dili day siya pwede mabot sa Google Drive, but you can actually do it there. Okay, so that is my outline for today. Now let us begin. What is Google Drive? Google Drive is actually a file storage and synchronization service developed by Google. Why is it synchronization? Because it is actually a cloud-based app. Yeah, so later on, I will show you what is that about. So it was actually launched in 2012, and Google Drive allows users to store files, any kinds of files, on their server, synchronize files across devices, and share files. So all files created and edited through the Office Suite, Google Office Suite, are saved in Google Drive. So it's like USB or a flash disk ba, but it's actually in the cloud. Okay? So why should we use Google Drive? Number one is it can deal with the large files. Diba, if you send a file through Gmail, um, it will only allow you to a certain gigabytes. But with Google Drive, you can actually save larger files, even softwares. No, I will show to you later. Na I have a folder in my Google Drive na full of softwares. So even though how large the file is, you can actually store it in Google Drive. Number two is we can share file easily with others. So this is a very good collaboration tool, especially now that most of us are working from home. We are not allowed to do face-to-face interaction. So it's really good to collaborate on platforms like this. Number three is it shows revision history. So you can actually check on the revisions that you did with your files that you create and upload in Google Drive. And number four is you can sort files using folders. So just like what I have said earlier, it's like a flash disk wherein you can manage your files through folders. And then number five is it can open different document types. Later on, I will show you different document types that you can open in Google Drive. No, even kanang mga files na gina-create ni Adobe or ni Microsoft. All right. So let's begin. So access to Google Drive. How do you access Google Drive? I will show you two ways. Number one is through your Gmail waffle. Now, you have to take note of this because it's actually part of your pre-test and post-test, no? So actually, you can find it in your Gmail waffle. So if you open your Gmail, for example, this one, I have here my, uh, let's go to my Gmail first. Okay, for example, if you're opening up your Gmail, there is a 9-grid box here. It's actually called a Gmail waffle. Now, if you are going to click that one, that contains all the Google apps as well as the add-ons that you added or installed in your Google apps. So for example, if I click this one, so you can actually see there the different apps that you can use that are made by Google. So you have the YouTube Maps Play, the Google Meet, the Drive, the Gmail, and even the tools inside Google Drive such as Docs and Sheets. And you can also see there the classroom, Earth collections, and then here I also have here the add-ons that I installed within Google Drive. And then you can also check more of these apps and tools and extensions through the G Suite Marketplace. So there are a lot more actually. Google products, there are a lot of Google products actually, not just what you can find in the Gmail, in the Waffle, but also in the G Suite Marketplace. Now, aside from yan, so as you can see, there's a Google Drive there. If you click that one, it will open a new window which will direct you to your Google Drive. Now, there's also another way to do it, and that is by simply typing in the URL of Google Drive. That's drive.google.com. So once you type that in the URL box, you will be directed to your Google Drive. Okay, for a while. All right. So that is actually the ways to access your Google Drive. Okay, wala bang questions? Sorry, wala tayong interaction, no, because I cannot see you or I cannot hear you. So later, if you have any questions, just write it in the comment section, and then probably our host or MC will read that one later, and I'll be able to answer those questions. Okay, so as you can see, I am now in my Google Drive. So this is once you open your Google Drive, this is how the interface looks like. Now I'm done with introduction. I'm going to introduce you the interface and how you're going to use it. All right, let's start with the left section of your drive. Okay, so as you can see, you have here the very important things that you need to remember when using Google Drive. So you have here your My Drive. That's actually your own Google Drive. You have here your shared drives. If you click that one, you can see there the Google Drives that were shared to you but created by another person or another group. For example, this one, GEG APAC is actually a drive owned by Google, and GEG Asia Pacific is actually owned by Nagoya International School. But because it was shared to me, I can actually access it. So that is what is meant by shared drives. Okay. Then you also have here shared with me. These are the files that were actually shared to you. So actually I have a lot. No, because as I said earlier, I'm a heavy user of Google Drive. So yan. So this one, like for example, this one, Diaporama Explorer Camp, it was shared to me by Erwan Galien. Yan, MTB, it was shared to be by my co-teacher Flora Michelle. And there's actually a date when the file was shared. So that's actually shared with me. Recent is, of course, from the word itself, these are the recent files that you have been working on. So it's really very recent. No, for example, this one, I just opened it earlier at 9:04 a.m. This one is at 8:58. Earlier, 6:41. And then the rest, there's also a date here. And then you can check if it has been modified or just open. All right, so that is recent. And then start are those files that you actually start, or meaning you start it because it's very important so that you will be able to actually easily access it later. So for example, I'll go to my other Google Drive. I actually have, I think, 4 Google Drives. That's a heavy user I am. So for example, if I check start here, so as you can see, I have one start here. So that means this one is very important. Kasi if I won't start it, if you check at my drive, ang dami kong files, di ba? So the most important one, especially those that I'm currently working on, I start it so that it will be placed here and it will be easily accessed by me later on. Okay, the next is trash. Of course, these are the things that you deleted. But as I said, but as you can see, the files are still there, so it will not be lost directly. No, you can empty the trash, or so you can actually still retrieve this and place it in your drive, back to your drive again. So that's it. So that's it. No, those are the tabs. Right. You also have the priority. For example, this one, yeah, my drive shared drives. So later on, I will also show you the difference between using personal Gmail and DepEd email. So later na yan. Okay? So after this one, here, this is the things that you can see on the left side. You can also see here the new button. If you check that one, this is where you can actually work with your Google Drive. Now you can create a folder. You can upload a file. As I said, any kinds of files, whether a video, an audio, a Microsoft file, um, uh, pictures or images, or even kanang mga softwares, you can actually file upload it. Now, you can also folder upload. For example, you have one folder in your desktop and you want to upload the entire folder, you can also do that. No, you don't need to upload each file one by one, or you can upload the entire folder. And then you can also start working on with the tools inside Google Drive. You can work with Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and more. We have Google Forms, Google Drawings, Google My Maps, Google Sites, AppScript, Jamboard, Lucid Chart, Lucid Press, and a lot more if you click the Connect More apps here. So, to put it simply, Google Docs is the word processing, just like Microsoft Word. Google Sheets is the spreadsheet, just like Microsoft Excel. Google Slides is the presentation application of Google. And then we also have Google Forms. And then you can also create drawings through Google Drawings. My Maps, Google Sites, it's like if you want to create a website, you can actually use Google Sites. Google App Script is if you're going to make extensions and apps within your Google Drive. I will not discuss this because it's kind of technical. Google Jamboard is like Google Drawings. You can do a lot of things here. You can create posters, work collaboratively with others, and charts, press, and a lot more. So you can actually do a lot of things in Google Drive. Now, after the left section here, I will discuss the things that you can see here. Of course, these are the first part that you can see is the quick access bar, which wherein you can see the recent files that you have opened or uploaded or edited. So you will know naman because, for example, this one you can actually see there. You opened today, you edited yesterday, shared in the past week, you opened today. So these are the recent ones. Okay, but as I said, you can actually check it here in the recent na tab. Right? Then at the bottom, you can see here the folders that I created. Yan, 'di ba? Ang dami. So I have folder as old as 2016 pa, even 2014. So actually have lots. You can actually have folders here. Again, if you want to create a folder, you just click new and then click folder. So for example, I'm going to open so you wait. So you can actually see here the date when you last opened the folder and then the file size. Later on, I will discuss what this file size means. So if you open a folder, for example, this one, ebooks, you just double click and then you can see here some of the ebooks that I have there. Okay, so if I can even create another folder within a folder. So you just have to click new, and then add a folder. Okay, so you can create a folder inside a folder. Right, so that's my drive. Now, what's nice about the folders in Google Drive is that you can actually color code it like this one. Diba? Can you see? If I'm too fast, it's okay lang ha because you can actually replay naman the webinar later. So as you can see, I have here blue folders. Blue folders means the things that I do for DepEd. And then the red, you can actually, the red folders are actually some of the technical stuff that I have there para easy access. And then the yellow folders are actually like mga learning materials and resources and other things. So you can actually color code it. By the way, the folders are in uh, alphabetical order, but you can actually color code it so that you will be able to know which is which, no? Parang makategorize lang siya. And then you can also have your files na wala sa folder. There. I'll go back to my personal Gmail. Okay? So there you go. So I have here my files. All right. That's it. So if you have questions, just type in and um, I think that's the basic things that you need to know. Now I'm going to split my screen because I want you to see the difference between using a personal Gmail and a DepEd mail. Okay. Here on the left side is I've used my personal account there. And then on the right side is I used my DepEd email. Now, if you try to look at the left side of the screen, this is where you can see the difference between using a personal Gmail account or a Google account and the DepEd email. Okay, again the left side is my personal Gmail or Google account, and then the right side is my DepEd email. Now, if we try to see the difference, it's actually quite the same, but what I like about using my DepEd email is the priority, which is not found in the personal Google account. So what does priority mean? So for example, if you click this one, because this is my DepEd email, you can actually create a workspace here. So for example, I'll maximize lang this one. So you can actually create a workspace. So for example, I have here a workspace for Gusa ES. So that means all the things here are the things that I need to do for Gusa ES. That's it. So you can actually create, for example, create, let's say, Google. Yan. Then I will create. Okay. Again, this can be created using your DepEd email. Now, once you have created your workspace, there is actually a 25 file limit. That means you can only put 25 files in your workspace. So, diba, I created a workspace for Google. So, let's say I will put all my Google related files in that workspace because I'm going to accomplish it or do it later. So I can actually click this one because this is Google related. So let's say click and then add selected files, and then just it's either you add another file. Let's say I will add another file. A new window opens, then you can go to your My Drive and look for another like Google related file from your Google Drive. Okay, let's say this one, Google Apps webinar. So, and then click insert. Alright. So once you're done already, just click done. And then you can already uh, then you already added the file to your workspace under Google. So as you can see, I have here Gusa ES. I have here 3 files from my Google Drive that I placed in the Gusa ES workspace, and I have another one for Google. So this is very actually helpful if you are working with many organizations, or if you're working with a lot of groups, no? So yan. So that is actually the very nice thing about using the DepEd email, which is not found or which you cannot do with your personal Google account. So you can actually rename the workspace, hide workspace, or remove workspace if you're done doing the things that you placed inside your workspace. So that is actually one of the advantages of using the DepEd email in Google Drive. So that's one of the things that I love using um, there. Okay. Another thing is that for your DepEd email, this is actually our first hack. File storage is free, sort of. That means if you try to see my 2 Google Drives, there's actually a difference in the storage. So in my personal Google account, this one, I only have 115 gig. Actually, if you use a personal Google account, you will only be given 15 gig. 15 gig. But because I'm using this account as part of my voluntary work for Google for Education, as a community leader for GEG, medyo in-increase nila yung storage ko into 115. But for you and for the others, the free storage is actually just 15 gig. But you can actually buy. If you click buy storage, there are actually options for you to increase your storage. So, yan, you have 15 gig, you have a current plan, or you can add 100 gig, that's 89 pesos per month, or you can pay annually, or 200 gig, or you can even have a 2 terabyte for your Google Drive. That's actually for the personal Google account. Now, let's go to my DepEd account. This is what is nice about our DepEd accounts, because our storage is actually unlimited, because DepEd has purchased a Google Apps for Education na domain, G Suite for Education na domain. So if we use our DepEd email and open a Google Drive, the storage is actually unlimited. Wala siyang limitation as compared to your personal Gmail like this. Meron siya nakalagay 11.4 gig of 115 gig. I'm only allowed 115 gig. But for DepEd, ang lalabas lang is the gig that you already used. So wala siyang limit. So if I go to my drive, ang dami kong files, but actually I don't have to worry of the storage because unlimited man siya. So even softwares, no, if I click here the softwares, I have lots of softwares here, and these are big file sizes, but I was able to upload it in my Google Drive. So that is what is nice about using the DepEd email in accessing or using Google Drive actually. So take advantage of it, teachers. Kay sayang kaayo kaysa naman mahurot ang inyong storage sa inyong laptop, saving your files there, or magpalit mo og flash disk or USB, and then later on mavirusan lang, o din mga wala din ang inyong mga files, or di ba ang mga flash disk pila raman ang capacity sa storage, and then it's very vulnerable with viruses. So you might as well take advantage of storing your files in your Google Drive using your DepEd email kasi free na siya, unlimited pa, di ba? So go lang, teachers, use it kasi sayang. DepEd is actually paying for it, parang annual ata, to provide us with this service. Okay? That's actually our first hack, no? Use your DepEd email. So file storage is free, sort of. Okay. May mga questions ba? I'll go back to the StreamYard, be. Wala bang questions? Unsaon pag color code ang folder? Later na lang, teacher. I will answer that one. Okay, so that is our first hack. Now, use your DepEd email for storing your files. Para dili mahurot inyong flash disk, storage inyong flash disk ug inyong laptop. Usay ra bang ang laptop pag mapuno na kaayo og files, maghang na siya or maghinay na siya ang processing. So might as well transfer your files to Google Drive. It will not be lost. I promise. Diba? As you have seen earlier, I have files that I uploaded way back 2014 pa, 2016, but the files are still there. Okay? So that's number one. Number two is saving a web page. This is one of the things that I love about using Google Drive. Okay? So I can actually save a web page into a JPEG or PNG file, a picture file. So for example, I will have here then, I will search for ICT. Let's say ICT. Then I have here a website there. Let's say lang ha na we are searching for a topic on ICT, and I have here a website, and I want to okay pa ba? Nag-lag daw ang connection. Okay. Alright, asa naman ko? Asa ko mabalik? Sige, sige. Okay, as I said, ganina, again, the first hack is file storage is free, sort of. So again, use your .ed email. Then, the second one is you can actually save a web page in Google Drive. So I'll show you that. So as I said, for example, you're looking for an article for about ICT, and then you were able to find uh, this website, and you want to save this website. Now, what do we usually do is we actually copy and paste, diba? But for me, that's actually time consuming. So what do I do is I use a Google Chrome extension. So where can you find the Google Chrome extension? If you can see here at the top right part of my screen, these are all the extensions that I use. Kung wala na sa inyong Google Chrome, that means you're not using it or you have not installed it. But ako, I'm a very heavy user of extensions. So, how do you save this web page using a Google Chrome extension so that it will be directly saved to your Google Drive without having to copy and paste and open a document or a Google Docs, is to use a Google Chrome extension. Now, where will you get that? Of course, you will need to install it as an extension. So, where will you go? You go to chrome.google.com/webstore. If you go to the web store, you can find there a lot of apps and extensions that you can install in your Google Chrome and use it later on for productivity. Okay, so there you go. Again it's chrome.google.com/webstore. Anyway, if hindi ninyo na-get or nakuha later, I will be sharing the links to Ma'am Dorothy and she will be the one to share it to you guys. Okay. Now, what you're going to look for is the save to Google Drive. Okay. Now, I have here Save to Google Drive. This is made by the Google Drive team. So, it's very safe naman and secure. Okay? So, Save to Google Drive. Actually, remove from Chrome na yung nalagay dito because it's here already. It's actually there. Oh. It's here already. But, if it's the first time that you open this one, ang nakalagay dyan, install. Once you click install, you will be asked to log in with your Google account so you can install it. So pag na-install na siya, it will appear here as an extension. So save to Google Drive. So this one is the extension save to Google Drive. Once it's there already in the extension bar, you can now use it to save web pages to your Google Drive directly without having to do a copy and paste, no? Or yeah. So let me go back to the web page that I opened earlier. So let's say this is the web page that I need. Okay. I will now save this as to my Google Drive. So what will I do? I just simply click the icon here, the extension here, and just wait. Yan. Okay. Let's just wait. Pag natapos na siya, if you click that one, another window opens and it is now actually uploading to my Google Drive. So you can see here what is ICT was saved to my drive. So later on, we'll see if I go back to my drive if we can find this already there. So the web page is actually saved as a PNG or as a picture image. But you don't have to worry because we can actually convert that later on into a document. So let's just say close natin. And then let's go to our Google Drive. And then just load again. Okay, hanapin natin if the web page is already in our drive. Tingnan natin. Okay, there you go. You uploaded just now. So the web page here that I saved using the Google Save to Google Drive extension is now already in our Google Drive. So if we're all going to open that one, it's actually very long because it saves the entire web page, right? But you don't have to worry because we will do something about it in a while. So that's actually our second hack. Now we can save a web page in our Google Drive directly using the Google Drive extension. So again, you can go chrome.google.com/webstore and then search for Save to Google Drive. Aisha, my daughter is also talking. No? So this is the Chrome extension. So let's go to our third hack. In Google Drive, we can actually convert photos to document. This is what Google um, uh, uses. It's actually part of the artificial intelligence of Google. It's called optical character recognition. By using OCR, you can actually convert photos to document. Now, how will we do that? First is we're going to upload the photo in Google Drive, and then the next step is open it with Google Docs. That's how easy is it. Dalawa lang steps. Again, upload the photo in Google Drive and open with Google Docs. So let's try to see how this works. So as I said earlier, di ba we have here the photo that we generated from the web page earlier. So what we can do now to convert this into a document is just to right click and open with Google Docs. Yan. If you open it with Google Docs, it will automatically convert the image to a document using Google's optical character recognition or OCR. It will take some time depending on the size of the image and then the text and then the images that the Google Docs need to convert na. So we just have to wait. Yan. So ayan. It's actually opening na. Let's just wait for a while. Okay, very long man yung okay. Very long man yung ano natin, very long yung web page. So there you go. Yeah. Okay, it's actually very long. No? 23 pages. Ayan. So there. Okay, from the picture, merong picture dito, at the next part, you can actually see here the document that you converted. Again, the text here came from the picture that we used earlier, that we generated from the web page. So that is actually very handy. Now, why did I share this to you? Because it's very helpful when it comes to kana bitang from hard copy to soft copy. So I'll give you an example. So let's say I have here a picture of a page of a book. Okay. So meron akong book and then I have test here like 26 to 30. Yan. So let's say this picture here I actually captured it using a phone camera. Let's just say from a book. So syempre because it was captured by a camera, it will be saved as a picture file like a JPEG. Yan. Now, what do we usually do is that from the book is if we're going to use the questions, the items, what we usually do is we copy, di ba? Or we type again from the book, from the hard copy of the book, and then we type it again on Microsoft Word. In Google Docs, you can actually just take a photo of the page of the book and then upload the picture in Google Drive and then convert it into a Google Doc. Para diretso na siya. You don't have to type it again. So how will we do that? Okay, this is what we're going to do. As I said, this is the picture that we generated from taking a picture of a page of a book. What we will do is we will do the same thing. You right click, open with, and then open with Google Docs. Automatically, the picture will be converted into a document. So, di ba, very helpful siya when we create quizzes and tests. Di ba, kay sometimes baya ang atong mga items, mga questions would come from our references sa mga books. So, dili na ta need mag-retype. What we will just do is take a picture of that page and it will be converted. When you upload it in Google Drive and then open it with Google Docs, diretso na siya. So, from the picture, it's now converted to a document. Medyo lalaki lang siya. And then you can, it's here na 26. So, from the photo, that one, the questions are now here. And then you can start editing or copying. So, you can actually change the font size, like 12. So it's very easy to copy questions from a book. Yan. So mag-edit ka na lang and then you can transfer this in Microsoft Word. So that is actually one of the things that I do in Google Drive. That's your that's your third hack. You can actually convert photos to document using OCR. It's actually very helpful. All right. Let's go to the fourth hack. Okay, this is one of the things that my co-teachers would ask me, no, if they come across with a PDF. How do we edit PDFs? Well, you can actually install an app in editing PDFs, but you can actually edit PDFs within Google Drive. Now, how do we do that? Okay, this is one of the things that I really love, no, in Google Drive. You can actually install the app Doc Hub in Google Drive. You just go to gsuite.google.com/marketplace. Okay, I'll show it to you. So, ako muna siyang i-X. X muna. Okay, this one, X muna. X muna. Okay. So, let's say I have here gsuite.google.com/marketplace. For a while. Aisha, di sa magtokling, kagakadunggan kanila ling. Okay. So if you go to gsuite.google.com/marketplace, again, I will share the link later. Just type in Doc Hub. Yan, PDF sign and edit. Okay. So you can actually have this one, the green one. Choose the green one. And then, as you can see, nakalagay dyan uninstall because I've already installed it in Google Drive. But if it's their first time, nakalagay dyan install. So you just click it and then just follow the process lang of installing. So madali lang naman siya. So once you install it, you can now actually edit your PDF and sign and even edit, highlight, sign, add e-signatures to your PDFs. So, let's say, I have here a PDF. Yan. Diba? If you open this one, you cannot actually edit this, no? But, by using the Doc Hub within Google Drive, you can actually edit this. So, what we are going to do is to click the PDF file, and then you can see here at the top, open with, and then there are options here. So in order for you to be able to edit this PDF, you just open it with Doc Hub. Again, you need to install it, ha. Hindi yan lalabas dito if you were not able to install it. So you need to install it para lalabas yan dyan. So, open with Doc Hub, and it will open a new window. Yan. Just wait lang para ma-open. It will load naman. Okay, loading. The document is now loading. Ayan. Okay. Once your document has been loaded, lang tayo. There. Ayan. You can now actually edit this one. Ang daming pwedeng gawin. For example, you can highlight. For example, color yellow. Ayan, meron yung yellow. I will highlight this. Like that. Ayan, naka-highlight na siya. There. You can also put a signature. Kung merong part nga dapat lagyan ng signature. Or you can even insert an image, add a stamp, or even write freehand or type a text. So you can actually edit this inside Doc Hub. Alright? And then after editing, highlighting, and writing, you can now actually download it or export it. So there are many ways to export the file. Pwede siya downloaded to your computer, or you want to upload it back again to your Google Drive, or share it in your Google Classroom, or even Dropbox and OneDrive for Microsoft. Again, it will be uploaded as a PDF na naman. But at least you were able to edit. So that is our fourth hack. Fourth thing that you can do in Google Drive. You can edit your PDFs. Okay, let's go to the fifth hack. Okay, 11 ikabuo. So, you can convert files. Yes. For example, you have a video and you want to convert it from, let's say the file is WVA. WVA ba na siya? Or WAV. A WAV file, a video file. But you want to change it into MP4. That is very easy. You don't need to install an app because you can actually do that in Google Drive. No? So let's say I have here, I will look for a video, ha? Okay, let's say I have here a video. My drive. And even mga audio files, you can actually convert it. So let's say this one. Okay, this one is I think this is an MP4, and I want to change it to other convert files, to other type files. So what you can do actually is just click the video, upload the video first, or upload the file first, either a video or audio or a document or anything. Then you need to, okay, what you will do is upload the file and then just open it with, double click mo muna siya, and then open with Cloud Convert. Okay? Once you open that with Cloud Convert, you will be directed to the Cloud Convert website wherein you're going to convert your files. So it's actually very, very simple. Again, if you have a file that you want to convert into a different file type, you double click and then open with and click Cloud Convert. And then explore lang din the website. Okay, that's very easy. You don't need, dili na ka dapat ma-stress kung saan siya pag-convert ang mga files niyo. So that's actually our fifth hack. Now let's go to our sixth hack. Our sixth hack is using the research tool in your Google Drive. So what you're going to do, for example, how does research tool looks like? Let's say I have here, okay, let's say this one. Aman to akong nihimo ganina. For a while, ha? What is, I will look for a document here. There, I will look for a document. Then how do we do research tool? Research tool is very good. For example, if you have a word or a phrase or a sentence in a document that you are not familiar with and you would like to research more about it, but you don't want to leave your document. Ayaw mong lumabas ng document, within the document lang. So what you're going to do is to use the research tool. How will you do that? For example, this one. I have here, I don't know anything about networking. So what you will do is, I will highlight the word and then right click. And then there are two ways to do it. Either explore networking or define networking. O, diba? Immediately, meron ka ng parang dictionary. So, let's say networking. I don't know what is it about. So, I want to define it. So, highlight networking, right click, and then just click define networking. Then, a new window appears here. And then you can see here na the definition of networking. So, you don't need to go out of your document in order to research or search for something. Okay, or let's say you don't want definition but you want a thorough explanation about networking, so you want to explore more about networking. So what you will do again is to highlight the word or the phrase or the sentence, right click, and then click explore networking. Again, another image here, another window appears here, and you can see here some resources from Google about networking. Ayan. And then you can click this one and then a new window will open. Or you can even search for an image about networking. So yan, meron niya mga image. Or you can actually, if you're looking for a content from your Google Drive, meron din dyan. Ma-search mo siya. So let's say I need a picture. So I will just click image and then click and drag. So I need this. So I will just click and then i-drag ko lang siya. And then tada! Lalabas na yan sa document mo. So you really don't need to go out from your document to search for something. So again what you will do is highlight and right click the text. Highlight and right click and then define or explore. Or you can also use the insert button here and then click image up and then search it from the web. Same yapon ang lalabas. Yan. So that is actually our sixth hack using the research tool. So again, highlight text, then right click, then choose either explore or define. Ayan. Next is number 7, you can chat with a team while working on a Google Doc. Alright. How do you share? For example, this document, I want to work with another, I want to share this with another person so she can edit or view this one. Alright, what you will do is very simple. There's a share button here. Lalabas to sa post test, I think. Nabasa ko. So you just have to click share. And then, there are some ways how to share this file. First is you can type in the email of the person. Yan, pwede yan. I-type mo yan. Or you can generate a link and then give the link to the person na whom you want to collaborate with. So let's say if you're going to generate a link, restricted pa man, so you just click this one, change to anyone with link, and then you can decide if viewer ba Viewer, that means the person with the link will only be able to view the file and cannot edit the file or even comment. View lang talaga siya. And then if you choose commenter, the person can view and comment on the file but cannot edit. And then if you choose editor, that means the person can view, comment, and edit the file. So if you share this link, let's say I will choose editor. If you copy this link and share this to another person, that person can open the link and work on the document and edit the document and make comments in the document. So that's how you share the file. Okay? Now, when you work with others, may lalabas dito na chat button. Siyempre, walang chat button dyan because wala man akong ka-collaborator. I'm the only one. But once na merong, if there is somebody who would access the link, who would get inside the document, there would be a chat button here wherein you can chat while working or within your document. So you don't have to go to your messenger and stuff like that to communicate and make changes in your document. You can chat within your document, the document that you're working on. Okay, so that is actually your seventh hack. You can chat with a team while working on Google Doc, not just in Google Doc, but also in Sheets, Forms, and all the tools inside the Google Drive. Okay, next is eighth hack. You can insert links with search. What will you do? Highlight text and then choose the link. Okay, I'll show you how to do this. Okay, now, for example, you'll be sharing a file to another person and you want that a certain word there, if they click it, a link to a resource or reference will appear. How will you do that? For example, I have here a word, let's go to ICT again. So what I can do is again highlight the text, right click, and then I can click here link. If you click that one, you can actually search for links that you can add to that word that you highlighted. So let's say ICT. Okay. So as you can see, I have here one information about ICT. So if merong lalabas dyan, pwede mo yan maging reference, no? Mag-add ka. So you just have to click and apply. So yan. So if the person would click this one, there, the reference or the resource would immediately come out and then the person can just click this one and then the new window appears. So hindi you don't need to, type the website and then let's say for a while. Okay, you don't need to type in the website here and then copy the link of the web page, no? For example, this one. Hindi mo na siya kailangan copy and then go back here and then paste. So, simple lang, you just have to highlight and then click link and then diretso na dito na ka mag-search sa mga possible references. Diba? So, you don't need to go out from your document. Ayan. So, you can actually insert links with a share. That is our 8th hack. And then, this one is very nice. You can actually translate a document to other languages. So, for example, this one, if I have this document, I can actually translate it into another language. So what will I do? I'll just go to Tools and then click Translate Document and then choose the language. So there are many languages here. Let's say Korean. Kasi adik ako sa Korean ngayon. So let's say Korean and then just translate. And with the use of Google's artificial intelligence, of course, it will be translated to another language. So merong lalabas ulit another window, and let's see if the file has been translated already. Okay, you just have to wait kasi mataas yung file natin. There you go. Now the document was changed or translated into Korean. Oh, di ba? So if you have if you see some resources online na dili kay nimo masabtan because it's in another language, you can actually upload it in your Google Drive and then use the tools and then translate document and then translate it into English or Filipino if you want. So if you have a difficulty understanding some documents because they're written on another language, that's one of the things that you can do in Google Drive. There you go. And then that's your ninth hack. For your 10th hack, it's really the use of add-ons in the different apps and tools in Google Drive. I will not explain this because it would take a long time to explain this, but you can actually access it in the add-ons here. And then just click Get Add-ons and explore the many add-ons that you can use. Ang add-ons will depend on the app. For example, I have here Google Sheets. This one, Google Sheets. So yung add-ons in Google Sheets, no, not this one. Okay, for example, I have here, meron ba akong Google Sheets ito? Let's say this one. If you have a Google Sheets, iba yung add-on sa Google Sheets to Google Docs. So let's say this one. Okay, it's still loading and working. Let's just wait. So if I click, for example, add-ons, okay, let's just wait. And then you just click Get Add-ons. Okay, there. So as you can see, I have here one add-on that I already installed in Google Sheets, which is Flubaroo. The Flubaroo is actually an add-on in Google Sheets where you can create automated test item analysis. Di ba? Especially for private schools, they do item analysis of their exams. So it's actually an automated, in Google Sheets. It's an add-on in Google Sheets. So you can actually get a lot of add-ons here depending on the app or the tool that you actually use. You just have to explore it. Kasi ang beauty of using Google Apps, for me, it's really on the add-ons. Okay, so that's actually our 10th hack. And then last is offline use. Yes. Google Apps, especially apps in Google Drive, can actually be accessed offline. It's not because na cloud-based platform siya that you could not work with it using offline. You can actually use it offline, but there are some things that you need to do. Kaya ano yung gagawin mo para you can access your files offline and you can work with Google Drive offline. First is you need to install your Google Docs offline in your Chrome web store. So where will you go? Again, you go to google.chrome.com chrome.google.com rather /web store. So let's say I just close this one. So let's say chrome.google.com/web store. And then I will need to look for Google Docs offline. Yan. Okay. Once you install your Google, wait for a while ha. Ito yung lalabas o pag Google Docs offline yan. Wait. Okay, Google Docs offline. So once you actually, because I already installed it, remove from Chrome na siya, but if it's the first time, install it. So you just have to install. And then after you install your Google Docs offline, what you will do is this. You click the gear icon. Gear, this is what you call a gear icon. And then click settings. And then there is an option here for offline mode. Create, open, and edit your recent Google Docs sheets and slides files on the device while offline. So you just have to check this. Yan. I'll disable it. Pero if you check this one for a while, you could actually now work on your Google Docs sheets and slides without internet. Of course, I will not be able to show you this one because if I turn off my internet, mawawala po ako sa stream nyo. But if you click this one and then you type in drive.google.com in your Chrome, in your Google Chrome, then you can still see and work on your Google Docs sheets and slides na mga file. Also, for example, I have here my phone. Wala siyang internet, but if I open my slides here, again, can you see? If you open my slides here, if I open my Google Slides on my phone, you can actually see here the slides that I have. And I can actually open it without the internet on. Wala po yung internet yung phone. I turned it off. But I can actually access my Google Docs sheets and slides on my phone. So actually, you can work with your Google Drive tools without an internet. That's the beauty of it. But of course, if need na nimo siya is-sync from your phone to your computer and from your computer to your phone, you need an internet. But working with creating a document, creating a slide, a presentation, or creating a spreadsheet, you can actually use Google Drive offline. So that is actually our 11th hack. I think that's it. Again, you just install Google Docs offline and then you go to your gear icon and click offline mode. And then you can start working with your docs, sheets, and slides offline without internet and even in your mobile phones. Okay? So that's our 11 hacks that you can do in Google Drive. There are a lot of things that you can do pa in Google Drive. You just have to explore it and see the beauty of it, and you will certainly be amazed by this product. And it's actually free to use. And more so if you use your dapat email, the storage is unlimited. Yan. Okay. Actually, that's the end of my presentation, but I would like to advertise some of the things that we do in Google Educators Group, upcoming initiatives that we are going to do, and I would like to invite you with it. But first, I have a YouTube channel. It's called The Public School Teacher. You can access it in youtube.com/shameless plug, The Public School Teacher. And I have here a lot of tutorials regarding ICT. As you can see, I talk about Google Chrome extensions, OneNote, even Microsoft products. So you can actually access a lot of tutorials here. And then I also have a website. It's called thepublicschoolteacher.com, wherein I share mga lesson ideas, learning materials, and even ICT materials that I create. I share it in my website. It's called thepublicschoolteacher.com. Okay, and then we also have a group, a Google Educators group in Cagayan de Oro. I'm actually the community leader, and we have a classroom in Google Classroom. If you go to classroom.google.com, you join our class to be able to be updated of our future seminars, activities, and events. You just use this code KLDSZ4H so that you can enter our class and be updated of our future activities. Google Classroom, by the way, supposedly I will be talking about Google Classroom now, but I decided not to because the division is actually having a 4-day training in Google Classroom. It started yesterday and it will continue today later at 2 p.m. until Friday. So wala na ko nag-focus because there's a division training for that and I'm also one of the trainers. So you just head over to the DepEd Tayo Cagayan de Oro every afternoon to get to know more about Google Classroom. But if you want to join our GEG Cagayan de Oro group, join our class. Use this code KLDSZ for H. And then we also have a Facebook group. Just go to facebook.com, sorry, that's there's a dash there, a dot there, facebook.com/groups/ggcdo, or simply search Google Educators Group again, they are on Facebook, and you will see the group there, and feel free to enter. No, so there are about 600 members already to be updated of our events and activities. Okay, and I would like to invite you also to be certified by Google for Education. Um, you can actually be certified by Google for Education. You can get the level 1 Google Certified Educator and the level 2 Google Certified Educator. If you want to be certified, if you want to get to know more about this, feel free to send me a message on Facebook, on our Google Classroom, or in our Google GEG Cagayan de Oro groups. Actually, the certification is not free, but it's very cheap. But we are going to assist you and train you. The training is to prepare you for the exam. There's actually an exam for the certification. So to prepare you for the exam, we will be training you, and the trainings will be for free. We will be guiding you, but there's actually a fee, parang a minimal fee lang for to take the exam. Okay, so that's Google Certified Educator level 1 and 2 if you want to be certified by Google for Education, which you can use forever na dayon as part of your professional growth and development. Again, if you want to be certified, please approach us because it's one of the programs that we'll be doing with Google Educators Group again. Or we will be guiding teachers on how to be certified. Sorry, certified. Okay, and then I'm also looking for GEG captains. I'm looking for empower captains, inspire, share, and learn captains. So if you want to be part of the GEG Cagayan de Oro community as captains and get a certification as a captain and a badge as a captain, feel free to send me a message as well. So we're looking for members para mo-grow ang among community. So there are actually responsibilities and time commitment for it, and I hope you will be with us and journey with us in GEG Cagayan de Oro. And then also I would like to plug, we have an upcoming webinar this Saturday, related to special education. So if there are special education teachers there, I have the speaker is a special education needs resource teacher and KS2 PSHE teacher in the International Pioneer School in Bangkok, Thailand, and she will be sharing best practices on special education in the time of pandemic. That's going to be on Saturday, August 1, 2020 at 10 a.m. and it will be live streamed at my YouTube channel at youtube.com/the public school teacher. So if you're a special education teacher or if you want to get to know more about best practice in special education at this time, please join us on Saturday. So let me end my presentation by saying that, by quoting this quote from George Couros, that technology will not replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can be transformational. And I definitely agree. Again, thank you so much once again, East City Central School, especially to school head, to your school head, Sir Yanyes and Ma'am Dorothy for coordinating, and Sir PJ and everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me. Again, if you have questions, feel free to comment and I'll try my best to answer them all now after this one. Thank you.
Mom, thank you so much for that
Yes.
informative and interesting topic